Okay, this is just a video to show sample editing for sound effects in training day. So here we have a folder of raw recordings. So first off, we can see the audio slate that I used just to make it easier when editing files. So I'd gone through and named all these, but if you're taking them straight off the Zoom recorder, they're not going to be organized or named. So that's what the slate's
Ethernet
for.
cable into laptop socket.
So straight away when I start recording, I will say what it is. So as soon as I open the file,
Ethernet cable into laptop.
I know exactly what I'm listening to, because you record a lot at once and forget what you recorded.
Socket.
Then I usually left a space of dead air, just so it would be easier when I'm going to do noise reduction to get a bigger sample size for the algorithm to use. And we can hear there's a lot of static there, but we can hear the sounds. Here's another example.
Ethernet cable into Steam Link.
So usually do a few different versions of the sound. Obviously it doesn't have a big effect when it's a click like that, but if I was recording something else like a door hinge or something, it would have an effect. Or if there was unwanted like a car horn or something went off in the background, we'd have multiple recordings to choose from. So here's another example, just key lock.
Key lock.
Key turning.
Key being turned.
So let's take in the Ethernet Steam Link. So this is an Ethernet cord being plugged into a Steam Link socket. Okay, so the first thing we would do
Ethernet cable into Steam Link.
is take out the audio slate. So we'll get as big as possible section as you can of just the background noise that we're dealing with. So there's nothing else in that selection but the background noise we're trying to remove. So we'll get the profile. It saves the values that I was using. So depending on how bad the background noise is, we can adjust them as we need. Select all the audio we need it to be applied to. Some preview to see that the settings aren't too much or too little. That sounds good. That is a lot less static than previously. So usually I just take the bits that I wanted. So this is as non-destructive as we can. Just want to be able to preserve, if we do any changes to these, we want to have quick access to the previous version. That's not, we don't want that. But yeah, so sometimes this is quite a low volume, a low amplitude sound, but sometimes we're recording something and we'll go too high. So if it goes near zero, we're going to have clipping, which we absolutely do not want. So usually if the sound was a lot louder, I would use the amplify setting, and I just set -6, so the peak amplitude will be set to -6 decibels, and that would usually in this case it's gonna um, make the sound louder, but when we're recording louder sounds it will take it away from the clipping area, which is at -1. If it didn't work at 9 or 6, I'd usually just go back in 3s until I was happy that it was the loudest I could get it without a possibility of clipping or of clipping happening. And the other thing to watch out for is popping. So popping is when, as the file starts, it goes from sample value of 0 to something higher than 0. What you want to do is to fade in and out, which will mean that the sample value is smoothly increasing from 0. So if it was like this and it started at a value that was higher than 0, we'd have a pop, which is not what we want. So usually I have another track that I'd use, so this is a nice removal click. So we'll take that. Just so we're better safe than sorry, we will fade in and out, even though it looks like that's a 0, but I don't take any chances. We want it as close as possible to here, because we want the sound to start play straight away, be very responsive. As you see there, we've got a nice Ethernet removal sound. We'll keep that selection. Save as, save selected audio. For some reason we can't, oh, it wasn't selected. Export selected. I would usually store it in a separate folder than my raw. I keep my, actually show the folder structure. So in audio I have raw recordings and clean, so I would save it to clean. If we go into clean, we can see here's all our final files. So let's just call it 2. Save it as wave. Try to be as descriptive the metadata. Save, and there we go. I will save this file as well and have it on the same page as this in Mahara.